Hi, come on in. My name's Dr. Tinker. How are you doing? It's good to see you. So, you're here for a ear, nose and throat examination, is that right? Okay. So how have you generally been recently? Have you had any particular symptoms? Is there anything you're particularly worried about? Okay. Yeah, sure. I'll just grab my notebook and we'll make some notes. Yes. So you've been feeling a little bit under the weather. That's understandable this time of year. I mean, often there's lots of different things going around. There are, as well as COVID, there is the flu virus going around, and lots of different infections. And yeah, it's good to be clear on just how, just keeping an eye on our general health, of course. Okay. So I'm just going to ask you a number of just short questions, just so that I can assess what we may be particularly looking for. Yeah, no worries. Okay, so your name is, yeah, I think I've got that. Okay, and particular things, have you got any soreness anywhere in your ears, in your throat? Okay, slight sore throat. Yeah. Okay. Do you have any pain or swelling as much as you can tell in your ears at all? Is there any discharge from your ears? Any clear fluid? Any extra buildup of wax? Yep. I'll take a look, don't worry. Yep. Okay. How often do you clean them? Yeah. And you're careful? Yeah. I know generally we don't advise you to use cotton bud to clean your ears because of the, obviously, the risk of perforating the eardrum. So we don't advise putting anything into the ear canal. And when we do a flush of the ear canal, we use water so that it's much safer. Yeah, but I know people do, of course. Yeah, I mean, sometimes prolonged use of cotton buds can dry out the ear canal, which then the ear canal responds in a way that it wants to produce extra earwax. So then you kind of get you're sort of having a little bit of a battle as to trying to keep the earwax to a minimum, because it's trying to fight harder to because it basically, the earwax creates an environment where it can stop infections and bacteria. It's there to help flush out any bugs and things, so it's working extra hard to create more wax. So sometimes what can be helpful is to go for a longer period of time without cleaning them, even though they might feel extra irritated, and then clean them sparingly. Yeah. Yeah, because they can get dry and very irritated and flaky. I'll have a look in them in a minute. But do you have any swelling around the ears at all? No? You've got a slight sore throat. How about, have you got any swelling around your neck at all? I'll have a little feel in a moment. Swelling. Okay, so maybe a little bit. Maybe it's possible you might be coming down with a viral infection, but I'll have a look and we'll see. Yeah, viral infections are quite difficult to treat because we can't give you antibiotics. We only give antibiotics for bacterial infections because viruses do not respond to antibiotics. So unfortunately, you just have to stay the course of the virus and just try and keep well. Okay, so if you do have a virus, the best things to do are to keep your fluids up, which will help flush things through. Yes, so it's more important for you to be drinking really regularly, especially if you're vomiting and diarrhea, because you will have, it's much more likely that you'll become dehydrated, and that can just add to your difficulties that you're facing. Yeah. Yes. So I will check for possible viral infection. Could be bacterial, but what we need to do for a bacterial infection is we need to send off a urine sample, if you're okay to do that for me. And yes, you can pop it into reception after we finished the consultation. And also, if for any reason your temperature becomes quite high, then we'll probably take some bloods as well, just to see if there's anything untoward going on there. Yeah, and as a normal preventative measure, we will also take a COVID test. Yeah, that's fine. The COVID nurse will do that after today's session. Yeah, and they'll send that off. Okay, good. Okay, should we start the physical examination then? Okay, right. So I'm going to check your nose, throat and ears, but I may also just check things like your heart rate and yeah, just anything sort of general health-wise, just a general examination I think would be good for you today. Yeah, of course. Okay. Right, I'm first of all going to have a little look in your mouth, because redness at the back of the throat might be a clear indication that you have an infection. Yeah, I'm going to get my apron on and some gloves. Have the rest of your family been well at the moment, or is anyone exhibiting any particular symptoms? Okay, yeah. Well, it could be possible that you have a virus going around. Have their symptoms now passed? Okay. Yeah. That's good to know. That with them at least it hasn't lasted very long. Would you say your symptoms are showing about the same, or are they a bit worse? Okay, so that's why you're concerned. That makes sense. No worries. Okay, let's get my gloves on. Do you have a cough at all? Oh, I haven't heard you cough yet. Okay, occasionally. Okay. And how is your sense of smell at the moment? Still okay? Okay, good. Yeah, I know, yeah, that's why I'm asking. Obviously, if you have any symptoms where you're suddenly losing your loss of smell, you have a persistent cough, then it always is potential that it is COVID, and numbers are increasing at the moment, so just be aware. How are you doing with social distancing? And you're quite strict. That's really good to hear. Good. Okay, if you'd like to just open your mouth for me, I'm just going to depress your tongue, and I'm going to have a little look at the back of your mouth and look at your tonsils. Okay, good. And just so you know, we do regular COVID tests on ourselves every day, and currently mine is negative, so you don't need to worry. Okay. Right, if you could just open up for me. That's great. Good. Okay, let's see. Okay, if you could just, yeah, that's fine. Tip your head back a little bit for me. Good. Okay. Just having a little look at your tonsils at the back. There's slight redness, you're right. I can see why you've got sore throat. Yeah. It doesn't look like it could be pharyngitis or It doesn't look bacterial, it's definitely not a throat. Well, it doesn't look like a fungicidal bacterial throat infection, so that's one thing to rule out. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Okay, thank you. Right. I'm just going to take your temperature if that's okay, just to... Have you been feeling hot at all? Okay, if you could just open your mouth for me. Yeah, this is a brand new thermometer, so... Okay, I could just put that in your mouth. Good, okay, if you can just hold it under your tongue until it beeps, okay? Good. Well done. Yeah, it takes a couple of moments. Good, well done. Okay. Yep, that's showing up as 36.8, perfectly normal. Good. So, if your temperature does rise at all, do you have a thermometer at home? Okay. What I would do is take it periodically. If you can note down any changes in temperature, it could give us a clear indication as to what might be going on. Yeah, that's good. Great. So just keep an eye on it for now. Now I'm going to have a little look in your ears just to see why there's some slight irritation going on there. I'm going to use my otoscope and I'm going to look into your ears and just see what's going on. Okay. So the otoscope is basically just a little tool to help me look into your ear. It has a little not a microscope, it has a little, I've completely forgotten the word. It has a magnifying glass on it, so I can look into your ear whilst also using the light. To look into it. So, there we go, the light there. Right. I'm going to have a little close look in your ears, okay? Okay, so this ear here, it looks as though it looks a little bit sore. It looks, yeah, I would say that it looks very much like you probably have some kind of throat. Maybe a throat infection. It might not necessarily be, it might be viral. That's possible. I'm just looking in this ear as well. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it looks a little bit tender. Which is consistent with being a virus or throat infection potentially. Okay. Could you just open your mouth again for me? I'm just going to use my little torch just to have a look in there again. Thank you, well done. Okay, I can't see. No, there's no white deposits on the tonsils, so that's good. Okay, it's just red and inflamed. Now, have you had any mucus build up, any snot, anything like that? A little bit. Okay. And what colour was it? It was green? Okay. A green indicates that you're likely to have an infection. So it's very possible that your body is fighting off an infection at the moment. So what I would like to do is, at the moment, because you don't have a temperature, I think it's probably best to take a urine sample from you, and yeah, that's fine, and then we can see whether there's anything else untoward going on there. If you do suddenly start having really high temperatures or a more persistent cough, I would like, the COVID test should hopefully come back before anything like that happens, but we might run you for some blood tests. Is that okay? Yeah, of course. So I'm going to just have a little listen to your heart now, if that's alright. Yeah, no worries. Okay. Alright, if you could just pull down the top of your shirt here for me, and I'm just going to place it on there. Thank you, good. Alright. You've got a lovely, strong, healthy heartbeat. There's no issues there. Now what I'd like to do is just have a little listen to your lungs. So I'm going to move the stethoscope around, and I'd like you to take a deep breath in when I say and breath out when I say. Okay. So I'm just going to press put that on there. Okay, take a deep breath in. Okay, and out. Good. I'm just going to move it around a little bit. Okay, and in. And out. That's good. Okay, I'm now going to just pop it down your back. I'm just going to pull. Yeah, that's great. Okay, I'm just going to pop it on. And breathe in. And out. Okay, and on the other side. Breathe in. And out. That's good. Okay, so as far as I can hear at the moment, even though you've got a little bit of a cough, I cannot hear evidence of a chest infection or anything that problematic. But it could be that you're at the start of an infection and it might be getting worse. Yeah, that's definitely worth getting checked out. Of course. Good. So, what I'd like you to do is do a COVID test on your way out with the nurse, and also if you could do give in a urine sample. The toilets are just down the corridor on the right, and if you could pop that into reception, they've got a box on the wall for samples, and just write your name on it and your date of birth, and write that it's for possible infection. Yeah, and to get to go to the right department. And if you are a lot worse the next few days or your temperature starts spiking, feel free to come back. But at the moment, I think this can be managed with just trying to keep your fluids up. And at the moment, you don't have any vomiting or diarrhea, so yeah, it's not too great an issue to worry about at the moment. But we want to take steps to make sure it doesn't get any worse if we can help. Try and limit the amount of work that you do. I know you do work in a high stressful environment, but if you can just say that I've advised just to take it a little bit easy, and also to let them know that it's probably best, especially with your symptoms at the moment, not to work until your COVID test result comes back. Good. Okay. Well done. It has been really good to see you today, and I hope that your symptoms improve soon. Any problem, please give us a call and come on back, alright? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sure. Did you want me to check that out for you whilst you're here today? No problem. Okay, that's alright. That's fine. How often do you see your optician? Okay, not so regularly. Okay, so migraines can be brought on by stress. They can also be brought on by the start of an infection. So it's definitely worth having a little look to see if there's anything going on. Auras can come. They're basically, it's like flashing lights, a disturbance in your vision when the pressure in your blood vessels, so around your head area, are changing. And that's what can cause a migraine. It can be extra sort of pressure in that area, especially if you're building up on an infection. It might well be that it's causing more migraines because there's increased blood flow, or there's increased antibodies flowing in your blood to try and get to the source of the infection. It can cause the system to get a little bit overwhelmed and can then therefore cause migraines. Yeah, I'm going to have a look in your eyes anyway, just in case there's anything else going on there. Do you get many floaters? As when so? if you're looking at white wall, the best way to describe a floater is when you see little bits moving in front of your eyes. This is actually the fluid floating on the top of the surface of your eyeballs, and it's creating sort of like a reflection when you're looking out. Sometimes there are little spots and things in our vision. And sometimes if it increases or decreases, it can be an indication of something else going on. Okay, I'll have a little look in your eyes. Thank you for being so patient. Let's have a little look. Okay, I'm going to look at this one. Good. Yeah, your eyes do look a little bit sore. Have they been any extra itchy recently? Okay. Yeah. And other than the auras just before the migraines, have you had any other moments where you've had problems with your sight? No, that's good. Okay. Could you just look up for me? Good, thank you. Good. And if you could just look down for me. Great. Okay. And if you could just look to this side. Good. Well done. And if you could look to this side. Okay. If I put my hand, I'm just going to place in front and try and focus on the light on this side with your other eye. Okay. Good. And the same with the other one. Good. Okay. I can't see anything there to be worried about. I think the auras and the vision difficulties is just related to migraines, which could also be related to a virus starting up. But if you do have any problems, you can also see your optician. They might have more difficulty getting you in for appointments at the moment because of the pandemic. But if there's any serious issues, if you get any serious stabbing pains in the eye, if you have sort of like huge blackouts, yes, it's probably worth getting in touch with us as well as getting in touch with the optician. Of course, yeah. But I think it's just an aura related to a migraine. Okay. Alright, thank you very much for coming in today. I hope you feel better soon, and if you could just do those things on the way out, that'd be wonderful. Lovely. Thank you. Take care.